Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Chander Pandey. In previous module, we discussed about device enrollment in Intune. Intune supported device types, compared the enrollment option and checked the ways for iOS, iPad, OS enrollment methods, Mac enrollment method, and then Windows enrollment method as well as Android enrollment methods. In this module, we are going to discuss only about Intune enrollment methods for Windows 10 and Windows 11 device. So today I will be covering enrollment types and enrollment methods for Windows device like user self-driven enrollment and administrator-driven enrollment. Common locations in device where we can find the enrollment traces, and then we will see Intune enrollment method capabilities for Windows device, and we'll discuss what are the best practice by enrollment method as well as the capabilities by enrollment method. So to manage a device in Intune, device must be first enroll in the Intune services. Both personally owned as well as corporate owned devices can be enrolled in Intune for further management. There are two ways to get device enroll in Intune. The first one is user-driven enrollment, where users are allowed to perform self-enrollment of their Windows PC as well as a company-owned PC. There are many ways to do this. They can use bring BYOD concept, where they can bring their own devices registered in Azure AD and enroll in Intune. They can perform a MDM enrollment method, where machine is going to enroll in only in MDM services. The third one is Azure Active Directory join method, where machine is going to register and join in Azure AD as well as enroll in Intune. The last one, user can perform autopilot, where again the machine is going to join in either in Azure AD or hybrid Azure AD and then enroll in Intune. The second one is the admin driven enrollment method, where admin can configure settings for automatic enrollment without any user involvement. They can use hybrid Azure AD join enrollment via group policy, or they can use configuration manager to enroll the device in Intune in a co-managed environment. We can also use a device enrollment method or a bulk enrollment method using Windows Configuration Designer app to enroll a bulk device. Each method is having their own use cases, capabilities, and based on the organizational requirement, we as an admin need to select the best which caters our requirement. So before moving further, let's talk about commonly used location to find enrollment traces. So device enroller.exe is responsible for enrollment of device which is already inbuilt in Windows Intune supported operating system. The location of device enroller.exe is Windows System 32 and then device enroller.exe. So there are mainly 5 to 6 commonly used locations to find the enrollment traces, and these locations are very helpful to find the enrollment failure issues. The common locations are access school or work and registry, task scheduler, and Microsoft Management Console, also known as MMC, command via command prompt, or even we can use in event viewer, which is a very useful when you want to track the enrollment steps. So in case of user based enrollment, user needs to go to the access school or work and then enroll the device based on the requirement. They can either use enroll device in MDM only, or they can use Azure AD join or even Azure AD registered option. The second place is a registry. This will help to find the information like who did the enrollment. The registry path of the enrollment is HKLM software Microsoft and the enrollments. The third location is task scheduler. So when we use GPO or SCCM to enroll the device in Intune, so both SCCM as well as the GPO will create a task scheduler which will trigger the enrollment via device enrollment enroller.exe. We can check whether task scheduler created as well as it's triggering successfully or not. The fourth option is the Microsoft Management Console, also known as MMC, to check the device is getting correct certificate from Azure AD as well as from Intune for secure authentication. We can also use a command prompt to run commands like dsrcmd \status to find the complete detail of device, like device is Azure AD joined or Azure AD registered or device is enrolled in MDM only, something like that. The last and very important and very useful location is the event viewer, in which we can find the detailed information of device enrollment. This is very useful when we are performing troubleshooting, and we can also track the entire enrollment flow in event viewer. So this slide is showing the same thing. Let's say if user wants to enroll their device in Intune, they need to go to the access work or school, and then they can use a connect option to register their device in Azure AD, or they can use a MDM only option. Then we have a second option called registry location, and the path of the registry location is HKLM software, Microsoft and enrollment. And we can see that there is a BYOD populated who is going to enroll the device in Intune. The third one is the event viewer, and the location of event viewer is under event viewer. We need to go to application and service logs, and then under MM's Microsoft Windows we can check. We have two things: device management enterprise diagnostic provider. This will help us to know that whether a device is enrolled via device credential or it is enrolled via user credential under user device registration. And these are the same thing I created here, like application and the I mean this is the location of your event viewer. Now the fourth one is the Microsoft MMC, where we can check whether the certificates, when machine is going to enroll in Intune as well as registered or registered in Azure AD, then they will get some certificate from the Intune as well as Azure AD. So if we are getting certificate, we are registering any machine in Azure AD, then we'll get a MS organizational access certificate, and the second one is Microsoft Intune MDM device CA. So this will ensure that the secure authentication will happen, and this certificate, both the certificates are issued to the device ID, not the user. Okay, so in case of MS organizational access, the certificate is issued to the Azure ID, device ID of that of the machine. And in case of Microsoft Intune MDM device CA certificate, the certificate is issued to the Intune ID, device ID of Intune. Then we can check the command prompt. With help of command prompt, we can check by running this command dsrh cmd \status, and we can find whether the machine is Azure AD join or machine is work enterprise join or a domain join, what is the name of machine, as well as the same thing we can find with user status. And then if you drill down a little bit in this command result, then we'll see that machine is having some MDM URLs also. So very useful and very useful command when you are going to troubleshoot the things. The last one is the task scheduler. As I discussed, that task scheduler is created when you are using SCCM or your GPO related enrollment. In that case, we can check under Microsoft Windows Enterprise Management, and then there will be a GUID. Okay, and then in the BYOD we can see that there will be a task created. That task is going to trigger that enroll and device enroller.exe, so that machine can join in Azure AD or registered in Azure AD. And then if the MDM scope is set for all or for scope, and user is allowed to enroll their device in Intune, machine is going to enroll automatically in Intune. Now we just discussed about that there are two methods to enroll a device in Intune. Okay, so now let's talk about more about user-driven self-enrollment in Intune. So user can self-enroll their Windows device by using any of these methods. Like they can enroll using bring your own device, also known as BYOD. They can also use MDM enroll only enrollment option. They can perform Azure AD Active Directory join enrollment, or they can even perform a autopilot enrollment and build their device for business ready. So in case of bring your own devices, user have a many option. Like they can register their device in Intune, or they can join their device in Azure AD. Okay, so to do that, they need to go to access work or school, and then they just need to click on connect. If they are going to click on connect, they are going to register in Azure AD. And there are another option below that they can join their device in, like here they can join their device in Azure AD. If they are going to select this option, the machine is going to join in Azure AD. And if we already enable automatic enrollment and user is allowed to enroll their device in Intune, machine is automatically enroll in Intune. Okay, the second one is MDM only enrollment, meaning that the machine is only enroll in Intune and the machine is not going to register in Azure AD. Okay, so for that, what they need to do, instead of going and clicking on connect, they need to use this option, only enroll in MDM solution. Okay, with this option, machine is only going to enroll in Intune, and user can access user can initiate a sync to get all the policies deployed on the device or user. The very third option is the Azure Active Directory join, in which user needs to go to access work or school, and then they need to join the device to Azure AD directory, in which again the machine is going to join to the Azure AD. And if user is allowed to enroll their device in Intune, it's going to automatically enroll. The very first option is your autopilot, in which during out of the box experience window, user need to provide their credentials, user and password, and if the user is having a valid license and all the configurations are already created by the admin, and if the hardware hash is already uploaded for the device, then this device is going to enroll in Intune as well as join in either on-premise hybrid join scenario or your Azure AD join type scenario. Okay, so machine can either join in as Azure Active Directory join, or the machine can be a hybrid AD join, where machine is joined to the on-premises environment and registered in Azure AD. Now let's talk about more on bring your own device method. So in case of bring your own device method, user enroll their personally owned devices by accessing work or school to connect, and in this case device is only registered in Azure AD. So this is mainly used when you want to gain the access to corporate resources like email, and Intune is treating this type of device as a personally owned device. If an administrator has configured any auto enrollment which is available with Azure AD P2 Premium 2 subscription, then user only has to enter their credentials once and machine is automatically enroll in Intune. Otherwise, they have to enroll the machine separately by using MDM only enrollment, and they need to re-enter their passwords and credential. Now let's see the same thing in the lab environment. So this is my lab environment, and let me show you. Okay, in case of access work or school, this machine is not connected to any of the domain. Okay, and right now in my Intune portal, I'm going to show you under devices. I don't have any machine. Okay, and the same thing in my Azure portal under devices. I don't have any machine. Okay, okay. And one more thing I want to show you. Under devices, MDM authority, what is auto enrollment is enabled or not. Let's see, it's enable. Okay, I'm going to disable it and save it, and then I'm going to create a user. Let me create a user. I'm going to create a new user for demo purpose. Okay, and then I'm just going to create a BYOD. Okay, this is my username BYOD. Username is BYOD, and then first name is BY, and then last name is OD. I'm going to give a strong password. Okay, and then I'm going to assign a location because I need to assign a license to this user. So I am going to assign India, and then that's it, and then create a user. Let me refresh it. Okay, it's taking some time to create a user. Just wait for some more time. Now user is created. I'm going to assign the Intune license. Not found. What's going here? Overview. Okay, let me see again. Okay, now I'm going to assign Intune license. Okay, even I can assign this also, and then I'm going to click save. Now this user is having a license, and then I am going to enroll this device. Just wait for a minute to see whether license is going to populate here or not. Okay, it's now populating. Okay, and now I'm going to connect. So there are many ways to go to this place, access work or school. You can go to start and then click on this and then change settings, and then from there you can go to access work or school, or there is another option. You can select the settings and then expand all, and then all settings, and from there okay, all settings, and from there account and the same location. Okay, now I'm going to connect this user, and in this case MDM scope is set to no. I'm going to type the username BYOD at the rate. Okay, just that Intune demo lab dot on Microsoft.com. Intune demo lab dot on Microsoft.com. Okay, and then click next. It's going to check whether MDM scope is set or not. Okay, now I'm going to enter the password. Okay, because I recently created this user, might be okay, yeah, they might be asking the change the password. I'm going to change the password now. Okay, now I'm going to, it's checking, and then hold on while we are registering the device with your company and apply policy. This may take a moment. Just wait for some more time and we'll see. Okay, now it's, you have added your account successfully. You now have access to your organizational apps and services done. And now if you see here, I am enrolled in Azure. I mean, my machine is Azure already registered, but I'm not enroll in Intune. I'm not getting the info button. Okay, so meaning that this machine is only enrolled in Intune. Sorry, Azure. Let's check the same thing in portal. This machine should show in Azure, and yeah, this machine should show in Azure. This machine is showing as Azure ready registered. Okay, but this machine is not showing here in all devices. Let's see. It's not showing. Now if I'm going to run a CMD, and then I'm going to run ds reg cmd space status command, then we can see that this machine is not Azure ready join, not domain join. This is the machine name. Workplace join, we talked about that. This is machine is Azure ready registered, and this is registered by user. Then I'll check that one in registry. We'll see that in registry, and then HKLM software Microsoft, and then go to enrollment. Let me make it big. Enrollments, and then there are n number of registry GUIDs populated. I'm going to see which one is related to mine enrollment. Okay, and I think this one. Okay, so we are not getting here. Why? Because this machine is not enrolled in Intune, right? Then let me see MMC if we are getting any certificate or not. I'm going to add MMC certificate. I'm going to add user, as well as I am going to add computer both, then finish. Okay, let me see if I'm getting anything under certificate. Yeah, now we can see that this machine is registered in Azure, but we are getting a certificate for user because this machine is enrolled by user, right? And under computer we are not getting anything. So, and we talked about that this GUID, right? The certificate issue to 5853, and this one is my Azure ID, device ID. Just click on that, and then under property I can see that this is my device ID, and I can see the same thing in under URL also. This is my GUID, device UID. So now we know that if we are going, if automatic enrollment is not enabled, and we are just going to click on connect and then entering the username and password, machine is only Azure already registered, but machine is not going to join in Intune. Okay, now let's check what will happen when we are going to enable the automatic enrollment for all the users, or if this user is a part of that some option. Okay, I'm going to log into Microsoft Endpoint Manager Admin Center portal, and okay, let me close it. Other things, I'm going to enable it. I'm in device enrollment section. Under device enrollment, Windows enrollment, and then automatic enrollment. Under this section, I'm going to select all and then save it. Okay, under devices, I don't have any devices. Okay, even under Windows, I don't have any Windows devices. Let's check that what is the behavior. Okay, now I'm okay. Now under access Verso school, I'm going to use click on the connect option, and then BYOD @Intune Demo Lab dot Microsoft.com on micro demo lab. Okay, I'm going to click next, and then I'm going to give a password. Okay, it's taking some time. Hold on while we are registering the device with your company and applying policy. This will take a moment. Okay, it's taking time. It's okay. Now we have added your account successfully. You now have access to your organization app. Okay, let's see. But what is the difference? Okay, now this time in a previous demo, I don't have an info up button. Okay, I only have this connect button. Now I have an info button, meaning that this machine is registered in Azure AD and enroll in Intune. I can initiate a sync to get all the policies and application deployed on me or my device. I can create a diagnostic report and export it, and then check what all things are there. Okay, now first thing I need to check is CMD, and then DS reg CMD / status, and then click okay. Where is the wrong CDS? Okay, REG and CMD. Okay, this machine is not Azure AD join. We know that domain join. We know that, but this machine is a workplace join. So we should see yes workplace join, because that's other term we are using for Azure AD registered workplace join is yes, and then okay. This machine is Azure AD Intune enrolled. Okay, so I'm sure that we have certificate for that machine. Let's check that certificate under MMC. I'm going to add user, as well as I'm going to add a computer. Finish and then save it. Let's see. Under personal, I don't have anything. Yeah, I have a MS organization, because this machine is registered in Azure. So machine is getting a certificate from MS organization access. And but where is the certificate for your device? Okay, I don't have any certificate here, but I think I should have a certificate under yeah. You see that Microsoft Intune MDM device CA certificate issued to my machine. Okay, and so I have under personal, I have a certificate issued to by MS organization access, because my machine is registered in Azure, and my machine is enrolled in Intune. That's why I'm getting a certificate, Microsoft Intune DMC device CA certificate. Okay, and if we can check under what we can check registry. Okay, under registry. Okay, let me refresh it. Where is the refresh? Okay, now this is the person who is enrolling the device. This is okay, and I enroll using BYOD, and these are all his things. Okay, this is my DMP cert thumbprint. and then intermediate CA certificate, which we saw that. Okay, this is and then okay, that's okay. Okay, now let's check event viewer also. We'll see that under event viewer log, under application and services log, we need to go to Microsoft Windows, and then under Microsoft Windows we call it as a D, start from D and then a little bit down, manage device management enterprise diagnostic log. Let's see if we are getting, because yeah, this we are getting here. So the commonly, okay, now the event ID related to this enrollment is 72, I think, yeah, 72, yeah, 72 is saying that MDM enrolled successfully. If we need to track the flow, we can check MDM 58. Okay, start from 4, which says that MDM enroll certificate policy request sent successfully, and then in 6, certificate policy response proceeded successfully. In event ID 8, certificate enrollment request sent successfully. In event ID 10, certificate enrollment response passed successfully, and in 16 the same thing, OMA DM client configuration succeeded. I mean, OMA DM is a protocol which is used to push the configuration policies and all on the machine using SyncML, and then your MDM enroll provisioning successful and now successfully enroll in the device. Okay, so okay, and that's okay. Now let's check one more thing in the device manager. I have a device. Okay, my device is there now populating. Okay, let me add 2 more column to see what this looks like. Okay, I'm going to add joint type and as already registered. So because I want to show you that this machine is registered in the joint type is as already registered, and we saw that in the logs and all. Okay, and now what we can do, because this machine is enrolled in Intune, we can perform the Intune related tasks. We can check the details, operating system, we can deploy application, everything on the device, and then okay, because let me delete that device and show you. So I'm just going to initiate action, delete that device. In a minute I'll see. Okay, now you see the self has removed your workplace account and deleted all the information associated with your workplace account, including business app, password requirements and other policies for your device. Okay, now if I'm going to this machine, under again the same location, access, school and work, the account is now removed. This connect button is having no option, and okay, that's all I think for this enrollment via BYOD kind of scenario. Now let's talk about MDM only enrollment. So with this option, user enrolls an existing work group, Active Directory or even Azure Active Directory joint PC into Intune. User enrolls their device by accessing work or school on their existing PC. But it's not a recommended enrollment method because it does not register the device in Azure Active Directory, and users might not get access to organization resources such as email, and it prevents using some Azure AD features such as conditional access. Now let's see how we can enroll a device using MDM only enrollment method. So now right now I'm on my client PC machine. I am going to connect. I'm going to go to connect, access, work and school, and then we have an option called connect, but I'm not going to connect here. Instead of that, I'm going to use enroll only in device management. I'm going to click on this option. It's asking me for my username, I'm using the same username BYOD which I created few minutes back. At the rate, sorry, at the rate Intune Demo lab pro soft, and to click next, and it's now connecting to the services. Hold on, we are registering the device with the company and apply policy. Okay, now it's saying that it will take some time, and okay, that's okay. Now we can see that in case of bring your own devices, uh, I'm not getting this briefcase option. Okay, but in case of MDM only enrollment method, I'm getting a briefcase option because this machine is enrolled in Intune. Okay, I can again initiate a policies, perform a sync also. Okay, and then okay, let's check some of the things like under command prompt, again the ds reg cmd /status. Okay, we'll see that what we are going to see here is machine is not Azure ready, domain join, that we know that. Machine is also not a workplace join because this is only MDM enrolled. I only enroll in MDM. Okay, okay, what else? Okay, this machine. Okay, that's okay. Now let's check under MMC whether we have a certificate or not. Open MMC again. I'm going to add user as well as I'm going to add computer and then finish. Okay, let me see. Under personal, I don't have anything. Under computers, I don't have anything. Let's see under CA. I'm again getting some certificate under CA. Microsoft Intune MDM device CA certificate issued by Microsoft Intune root CA. Okay, and then okay, now I have a certificate. That's okay. Now let's check in Intune portal. Okay, it might take some time to uh, replicate and then shows need to. Okay, let me, meanwhile I'm going to click on sync option so that I can enforce the synchronization. Now portal.azure.com, I'm going to open a portal.azure.com. We'll see that whether what's the status of that machine in Azure. Okay, let's check under Azure Active Directory devices. Okay, my device name is okay, all devices. I don't have any as of now. I think nothing is there. Okay, let's wait for that. Give some more minutes and then should populate sometime. Okay, it might take some time to populate in Intune portal. Meanwhile, I'm going to initiate the sync again. Okay, meanwhile I'm going to show you what is under device diagnostic report. I'm going to create it and it's going to save the report under user public document and MDM diagnostic. Okay, then I'm going to go to this location, users, and then public, and then documents MDM. Okay, I'm going to open it with the Internet Explorer, and let's see that. Okay, so it's going to give me at least some idea. Okay, what is my machine name, my machine edition, what is my OS version, and then okay, then this is what is my company name, last sync. Okay, this is management server URL. Okay, OMRDM protocol version. This is my enterprise device management ID. Okay, okay, And certificate, I don't have any certificate. Okay, this one is enroll configuration source. So this is useful when you are deploying the policies, and who is going to configure what kind of scenario. These are the managed policies. Okay, we have a default value and then current value. Default value meaning whatever is default on that device, and then if you are deploying something from Intune, then what is the current value, and then here it will show who is configuring this value and what is the value they are going to configure it. Okay, uh, okay, let's see one thing here. Okay, MDM, okay, MDM full. Okay, let's see if machine is populating here. Okay, it's taking time now. Okay, loading again. Let's see if anything is here or not. Yeah, I have one machine here, same machine. Let's see what is saying. Okay, it's saying that registered no. Okay, the column, I have all columns. Okay, it's saying this machine is MDM enrolled, but registered as already registered is NA. That's okay. Now I have a machine here also in my Intune admin center portal, and then I can run some commands. I can show you what is the device Intune device ID, what is the Azure device ID. Okay, and if I can go here, I can click here, I can show you that what is my Azure AD device ID under property, and then this is my Azure AD device ID, and this Azure AD device ID associated with my this Intune ID, and then you can generate some reports. Okay, that's okay. So I think that's all I want to show you with respect to MDM enrollment. Now let's talk about Azure Active Directory join enrollment. So user can perform Azure Active Directory join in which device is joined to Azure AD and enroll in Intune. If automatic enrollment is enabled, then user will automatically be enrolled in Intune, so that the benefit of automatic enrollment is a single sign-on process for the user. Otherwise, user have to enroll separately through MDM only enrollment. We can use this method either during initial Windows out of box experience screen or from setting access and work school. If we are using this enrollment option, then device is marked as a corporate owned device in Intune, because because machine is going to join in Azure AD. With this process, user can use single sign-on to access all the corporate resources, and and admin can deploy the conditional access for better security and control, and can enable the enterprise state roaming. The overall end user experience is satisfactory. Now let's see how we can perform a Azure Active Directory enrollment. So now I am on my client machine. Again, I am going to the same location, access work or school. I am going to use a connect option. Now, instead of adding email ID in this portion, I'm going to select join this device to Azure Active Directory. Even you can use join the device to local admin account when you local Active Directory domain. If you have an on-premises domain, you can join that machine to that domain. So I'm going to use join this device to Azure Active Directory. I'm going to click on this. Now it's asking me email ID. I'm going to again use the same BYOD user at the rate Intune Demo Lab dot on Microsoft.com. Okay, Now I am password if okay. Now my machine is going to join Azure Active Directory. Now you can see that make sure that this is your organization. If you continue, system policies might be turned on or other changes might be made to your PC. Is this a right organization? Connecting to this is my domain Intune demolab dot on microsoft.com, username my username BYOD at the rate, and I am going to be a with the administrator of that user. If I'm going to click next, my machine is going to my machine is joining to the Azure Active Directory, and if MDM scope is set to all or scope and my machine user is a part of that scope, then machine is going to enroll in Intune automatically. Now we can see that device is connected to self is my organization name. When you are ready to use this new account, select start button, okay, and then okay, I'm going to switch now. Now we can see that because MDM scope is set to all, I am joined to this on premises, sorry, not on premises, Azure Active Directory, and I can again perform the actions. I can sync to get the latest policies and application. Now let's check again the same location, cmd command. I am going to type ds reg cmd space backslash status. Now okay, ds cmd, okay, sorry, type. Now in the previous two demo we saw that the machine is not joined to any of the domain. Now let's see, okay, now we can see that in this machine is joined to Azure Active Directory is yes. This is my device ID and device details. This is the device ID, this is thumbprint, certificate validity, this is the certificate validity, okay, device authentication succeeded, and okay, let's see what else we can check here. Okay, let me make it big little bit. Okay, it's not scrolling. Okay, now we can see that this is my MDM URL, MDM compliance URL. Okay, this is a discovery URL through which machine is going to register enroll in Intune. Okay, now user state is okay, machine is Azure AD, TPTR is no, okay, and then I mean other things are related to different things, but what I want to show you is that when you are using this option, machine is going to join in Azure AD, and then if scope is set to all, then machine is again automatically enroll in Intune. Let's see in Intune portal. Let me show you first in Azure Active Directory. I'm going to refresh it. I'm on all devices. This is my machine name, and this machine is joint type is Azure AD. Who is the owner of this machine? BYOD. I am the owner. I mean BYOD is the owner who is the person who registered that machine in Intune. Okay, and then let's see that machine in Intune portal. Okay, as of now it's not there, it might take some time. Meanwhile I'm going to run a sync, and then okay, meanwhile let's check MMC again to see whether the certificates are populated or not. I'm going to add again the my user and then computer account and then finish. Okay, let's see personal, I don't have anything. Okay, and the trusted intermediate, I have one certificate again in intermediate. Okay, Microsoft Intune issue certificate, and let's see if I have something in here or not. Okay, here certificate is there. Okay, now we can see that I have a certificate issued to my computer. Okay, and the certificate issued by Microsoft Intune MDM device CA certificate, and this certificate issued to my device ID. Okay, my Intune device ID. Okay, let's see why is my Intune device ID. Okay, as of now I don't, the machine device ID is not populated. Okay, let's see if now machine is showing, then we'll see that. Okay, now it's showing. I'm going to click on here, and then this is my device ID 3BD, and the same we can see here 3BD. Okay, and then under hardware also we can verify this is my Intune device ID, this is my Azure AD device ID. We have one more certificate issued to my Azure device ID and issued by MS organization access as well as MS organization P2P access. Okay, and this certificate is expired in 2020, expired in 9 2022. Now I will another organization access expired on 2032. Okay, now what else? Let's see. uh Event viewer again to see what's going on in event viewer with respect to this enrollment. I'm again going to click application and service location logs. Inside it, going to click on Microsoft Windows and then device. Okay, so there is one more location here, call it as a user device registration. Okay, this is when user is performing the registration. Okay, okay, let's see if we have something here. Okay, okay, now let's see in the device one, device and diagnostic. Okay, again the same location we need to find out, or maybe we can, if we know the event ID, then I know that it's 72. Let's see. Okay, now it's 72. It's showing that okay, device is registered successfully. Okay, this, and then okay, now if now I can perform all the actions on this device. Okay, I want to delete that device, so I'm going to delete that device. When I'm going to click on yes, delete that device, my machine, let's see what's going there happening there in this machine. Now see what is okay. Self has removed your workplace account and deleted all the application informations associated with your workplace account, including business apps, password requirements, and other policies from your device. Okay, I'm going to click here. Okay, this machine is now no more in any domain. Okay, again, let's again check that. I mean, what I'm trying to show you is that once the machine is enrolled in Intune, you can initiate a number of things, like you can delete that machine, you can restart that machine, you can synchronize that. I mean, okay, now the object is not there in Intune. Let's see if that object is there in Azure. Now this Azure is also showing that device is no more in picture. Okay, so the fourth method of in device enrollment is the autopilot method. So in which devices automatically Azure AD join and enroll into Intune during out-of-box experience window. To perform this type of enrollment, we need to upload the hardware hash of the device in Intune portal, and Intune is considering this type of enrolled device as a company-owned device. With autopilot, we can manage policies, profiles, application, and many more once the device is enrolled in Intune. So currently there are four types of autopilot deployment options we have. We can use self-deploying mode for kiosk machine or kiosk mode kind of scenario, or we can use a user-driven mode for traditional users, or we can use a Windows autopilot for pre-provisioning deployment, and we can also also used to perform autopilot for existing PCs. So well, we will discuss this in details in upcoming module, where I will be explaining you all the concepts, flows, and uh, uh, all the technical points, and we will do a deep dive with demos as well. Now let's talk about administrator based enrollment in Intune. So in case of administrator based enrollment, admin needs to create and configure the settings and configurations so that the device can be enrolled in Intune without user intervention. It could be via deploying GPO to on-premises devices to automatically enroll the device in Intune, or we can use SCCM to enroll the device in Intune in a co-managed environment. We can also use device enrollment manager account to enroll a device. A DEM is a non-administrative user who can enroll devices in Intune. Devices enrollment manager are useful when we need to enroll and prepare many devices for distribution. DEM account can enroll and manage up to 1,000 devices, where a standard non-admin account can only enroll 15 devices. A DEM account require an Intune user or device-based license and and associated Azure AD user. Global administrator and Intune service administrator can add and manage the device enrollment manager in Microsoft Admin Center portal. We can also use bulk enrollment approach to create a package through Windows Configuration Designer. So it's a kind of package which is going to enroll the device. We can download Windows Configuration Designer from Microsoft Store for Business. Again, the decision on selection of enrollment method is totally based on the requirement. Now let's talk about hybrid Azure AD joint enrollment via GPO. So hybrid domain join machine is a machine which is joined to on-prem domain and registered in Azure. To do this, we need to install and configure the Azure Active Directory connector and then configure it so that on-prem users device and group can be synced with Azure AD for further use. This is mainly a mass enrollment of large number of domain joined corporate devices into Microsoft Intune. As an administrator, we can configure Active Directory group policy to automatically enroll devices that are hybrid Azure AD joined. We need to create automatic enrollment GPO and deploy it. Once the machine is receiving the policy, it will create a task scheduler, and then task scheduler will enroll the device via device enroller.exe. We can also configure to use the credentials of logged in user to enroll the device in Intune. With respect to requirement, machine should be hybrid Azure Active Directory join PC running on version Windows 17.09 or later, and Intune services is already configured, and the on-premises Azure Active Directory must be integrated with Azure AD via Azure AD Connect. The device should not already be enrolled in Intune using a classic agent, and supported Windows Server operating system is required. To implement this, we need to work with Azure Active Directory team as well as Active Directory team to create a GPO and deploy it for testing purpose, and based on the result we can plan for the production rollout. Let's talk about device enrollment using configuration manager. So in case of configuration manager in co-managed state, configuration manager, also known as SCCM, client is responsible for enrolling the device in Intune so that we can get additional features of Intune along with SCCM like remote action, synchronization of SCCM client policy, and can even perform the remote reset. We need to plan for which workload we need to manage from which tool. This enrollment is similar to group policy object enrollment, in hybrid environment where a system client is creating a task scheduler to enroll the device, either device based or user based credential. For device based enrollment, license is not required. In this case, there will be two services running on the device for management. The first one is the SMS agent host executive service, which is responsible for SSM based deployment, and the other one is Microsoft Intune services, which is responsible for Intune based deployment. Now let's talk about device enrollment via device enrollment manager. So device enrollment manager is a special service account which have permissions that let authorized user enroll and manage multiple corporate owned devices. These types of devices are good for point of sale or utility apps, but not for the user who need to access email or company resources. We can create up to 150 device enrollment manager account, and a single account can enroll up to 1000 devices. A device enrollment manager account require an Intune user or device license and an associated Azure AD user. Global administrator and Intune service administrator can add or manage device enrollment manager in the Microsoft Admin Center portal. Let's talk about device enrollment via bulk enrollment method. So bulk enrollment process allow authorized user to join large number of newly corporate owned devices to Azure Active Directory and Intune. We need to create a provisioning package with the help of Windows Configuration Designer application, and then we need to use that package to enroll the devices either using USB media during initial out-of-box experience window or from existing Windows PC. We can install the provisioning package to automatically enroll the device in Intune during initial setup or for an existing systems. So there are a couple of prerequisites to use this method, like device should be on or above Windows 10 1709 version. Windows automatic enrollment should be enabled, and we need a Windows configuration designer application to create and package, and we need tenant administrator role like global administrator, cloud device administrator, Intune administrator, or password administrator to generate a bulk token. The bulk token is valid for 180 days. After that, we need to create a new token and create a new package for device enrollment. Now let's check how we can enroll a device using bulk enrollment method. So right now I am on my client machine. The very first thing we need to do is to create a package using Windows Configuration Designer. So I'm going to log into the Microsoft Store for Business app, and then I'm typing configuration Windows Configuration Designer app. Okay, now I can see Windows Configuration Designer app. Okay, Windows Configuration Designer app without imaging used to use the Windows Configuration Designer app to simplify deployment of Windows device at your organization. WCD allow configuration of many aspects of Windows device setting, including Azure Active Directory. Okay, I'm going to install it. Now in my machine, Windows Configuration Designer app is now installed. Let me open it. Windows Configuration Designer app, and we'll start creating a package for bulk enrollment. Okay, now enable. Sure, no, not from. Now Windows Configuration app is now loaded, and I'm going to create a provisioning package for desktop devices. We can also create a provisioning package for kiosk devices, Surface Hub devices, HoloLens devices, Windows mobile devices, and some advanced configuration provisioning we can create. For now, I'm going to create a provisioning desktop package. I'm going to click here. Now I am going to give a name. I'm going to give a bulk enroll. Okay, I'm going to change the path of this. Okay, under desktop. Okay, under desktop, I'm going to create a new folder and just create it. So this is the path of where the package binaries will be stored. I'm going to click finish. It's now loading, and then now it's loading. Now I have a step to perform. The very first step in via configuration designer. Then we can, the first step in Windows configuration designer is to set up the device name. Okay, so there are two options. I can go with serial number or with some prefix, or I can use some random numbers. For now, I'm going to click copy random number. Okay, okay, paste it here. Instead of this, bulk bulk demo. A demo randomly 5. So when, what will happen when machine is receiving this package, and then machine is going to rename their the device with prefix demo and then randomly 5 number. Okay, I can provide the product key also, but I don't have that. I'm going to provide here. I can configure device in a shared configure device for shared use. I can yes or no, but I don't want to do this. I can remove the pre-installed app by just moving the slider. For now, I'm okay with this. Then I'm going to configure our network. I don't want to configure anything, that's why I'm just switching it off. Then I'm in the account management page. We have multiple options. We need to provide enroll we need to enroll the device in active directory or an Azure active directory or local admin, with local admin, right? So I'm going to click on enter and enter the enroll the device in Azure AD, and the bulk token expiry is this, 180 days. And then I'm going to create a generate a bulk token. So for that, what I need to do, I need to sign up with any of the account who has a privilege access, like Intune administrator, global administrator, and password administrator, and then I think cloud and device administrator. I'm going to give password ch Chander Intune Demo Lab on Microsoft on Microsoft.com. Okay. Oh, in Intune Demo on Microsoft. Okay. MIC Microsoft. Okay. Now I'm going to add the password. Okay, password. Now it's saying that stay to my organization to manage the device. I don't want to select this. No, I don't want to sign up, and just click OK. Now it's going to generate a token, and with the help of that token, I can the package can register the enroll the device in Intune. Now bulk token is successfully generated. Additionally, I can create a local admin. Let's say I'm going to create a bulk admin, and then I'm going to give password. Now I can do some other steps, like I can add some applications. If you want to deploy an application, I can add application. Let's add one application to show you how we can add an application. Let me add. I'm just going to download simple application. Download MDT. I'm going to download Microsoft Deployment Toolkit package. Okay. Just downloading Microsoft Deployment Toolkit package, 64-bit, and then click next. It's going to download. Okay, now it's downloaded. Oh, okay, started. Okay, I don't want to install now. No, cancel it. Yes. Okay, now what I need to do, I just need to add here. I'm going to provide the package and name, application name, and then I'm just going to give the path where I downloaded this application, and it's automatically going to populate the command line. Okay, and additionally, where we can configure if there is something goes wrong during installation, and do we need to continue it or we need to stop it. Okay, so for now I'm going to switch it off. Okay, additionally we can allow restart. Okay, if you want to restart, you can enable it, otherwise that's okay. And then if there is any dependency for that application, you can add here also, and then click add. Now your application is now added. So I have added one application. I don't have any certificate for add, but if you want to add, you just need to provide the certificate name, browse the path, and then add it. That's it. Okay, I don't have any certificate right now, so I'm not going to add anything. And now click finish. It's going to provide me the summary of this page, and my local admin name is this with the password, add application, and then okay, the important point, protect your package. Okay, if I'm not going to enable it, so anyone can run this package and enroll the device in Intune. So I want to give a password. Okay, I'm going to provide a password. So if someone is trying to install this, they need to enter the password to install that package. I'm going to create it. Okay, now it's creating. Now it's done. Package is created and is stored in the created folder which we created earlier in the down desktop page. Under this we have a folder called bulk enrollment. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to. Okay, I'm going to close it now. For now this application is no more needed. Our package is ready, and I'm going to use the same machine for enrollment. Okay, now let me show you a few things before I'm going to install it. In the connect, I don't have anything. The important point is that if you go to portal.azure.com, and if I'm going to log in with my admin account there, I want to show you that when you're creating this package, then it's going to create a user, and that user is actually going to enroll the device under application. Okay, Azure Active Directory, and then if you go to users, I'm going to open my endpoint portal also, admin center portal. I'm going to open this one also, so that still loading. Okay, now user is there. Okay, let me show you the new user created when we created this package. Still loading. Okay, yeah, so I'm talking about this user package underscore some random GUID package. Okay, this user is actually is going to enroll the device. Okay, this is the user who's going to enroll a device, and when we are enrolling a device using bulk enrollment method via package, then we'll see the same thing in registry also. Okay, so that's what I want to show you. And another thing is that I want to show is under devices. Let's see if I have anything. Okay, loading. Meanwhile, I'm going to show you the device here in this Intune Admin Center portal. Let me open meanwhile Intune portal also under all devices. Yeah. Okay, I have one device. Okay, and but that is not that device. Okay, we should be good. I mean, that's okay. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to enroll this. I'm going to run this package. I'm going to click it and then okay. Before that, one more thing I want to show you that under school and access, and then under access work or school, this option add or remove a provisioning package. I don't have anything here. Now I'm going to run this, and it should ask me for the okay, now it's asking password. That's a security we added in this package. I'm going to provide the password, and now this package is going to enroll. Okay, is this package from a source you trust? If yes, then click yes and add it. Okay, it's going to enroll. Now it's done, and in a minute or two we'll see that this package is showing here. Okay, it's saying that you are about to sign out. That's okay. Meanwhile, you'll see that the package is added here, and if we go back to very quickly, if we go back to here, I don't have anything right now. So once the machine will rebooted, I'll see something under connect. Okay, okay, let's see. Just waiting for machine to reboot by themselves. Here, let me reboot the machine and we'll come back to show you. Restart. Now my machine is back. Let's see if the machine is enrolled in Intune or not. I'm going to again connect, going to access work or school. Oh, now we can see that this machine is connected to self, which is my company name. Okay, and is connected by the package ID. Okay, and I have info button and I got this disconnect button. I can run action. Okay, I'm just going to sync it so that all the entries will be populated in Intune as well as Azure AD. Okay, before that, let's check the registry also to see who enrolled this device. Okay, now I'm going to HKLM, going to open HKLM, software, Microsoft, and then there is a registry called enrollments, and we have multiple GUIDs here. I think the relevant one we need to find. Okay, I think this one is a relevant one, and yes, this one is a relevant one. Is showing that this machine is enrolled by this package ID. Okay, at the rate given. Okay, and let's check that in MMC also whether I'm getting any certificate or not. I'm going to add certificates. Going to add user certificate, and then going to add a computer account. Let's see if I have anything here or not. I don't have anything in here. Let me see if I have any intermediate CA. Yeah, I have a certificate issued to Intune MDM's device CA and issued by Microsoft Intune root certificate. Okay, so I have a certificate, and then let's see if I have for anything for machine. Yeah, I have a certificate here also, and I have both certificate, Microsoft Intune MDMDA certificate issued to my issued to my Intune device ID, and this is MS organization access certificate issued to my Azure Active Directory device ID. Okay, looks good. And now let's open Admin Center portal. We'll see that whether the device is populating here or not. Okay. Meanwhile, I'm going to open the portal.azure.com also. Okay, under Intune all devices. Let's see if I have a machine. This machine is enrolled in Intune or not. That should, because we are getting an info button in under connect. Okay, still not showing here. Let's give a couple of minutes. Yeah, now it's showing. And the interesting part is that this demo 07543, the device name is we configured, right? The prefix is demo, and then randomly 5 number is there. Okay, and this is managed by this one. And let me add 2 more column in this report, and we'll show you that whether what is the status. Okay, I'm going to add Azure AD registered and join type. Okay, now it should be Azure AD registered joined, not registered, and MDM enrolled. MDM enroll, yes. Okay, I'm going to check one more thing in Azure AD. Azure Active Directory, and then user, or even I can check from here also. I'm going to users. Okay, under Azure I'm going to click on users. It's loading. Meanwhile, we added a package, MDT package. Let's see if that package is installed or not. Add and remove program, and okay, not this one. Pitch.cpl. Okay, yes, the Microsoft deployment toolkit is automatically installed, so it means that application is also installed properly. Our package is working. I just want to show you one more thing. Under this package, the person who enrolls the device, do we have any device associated with that or not? Under devices, let's see if the device name is populating here or not. So we can see that the person who enrolling the device, under devices, we are able to see that the demo 07543 is associated with this device, and based on that, Intune or Azure service is going to calculate the number of devices enrolled by this user. Once the device limit reaches to 1000, then it's not allowed to enroll any further devices. Device, I mean, you unenroll that device, then just need to go to all devices, or even click on that device, and then just need to click on delete that device. Is automatically going to unenroll the device. Let me show you that also. Okay, access cooler work. Right now I'm connected, and I am going to initiate device command called delete command on that machine. Let's see what is going to do with this machine. Ideally it should remove that machine from Intune, as well as is revoke that certificate, and then we should not see anything here under in below connect option. Okay, let me delete this. I'm going to click yes. Okay, now in a minute or two we'll see that Okay, let me clear all this, uh, clear notification. So now we can see that self has removed your web workplace account and detected all the informations. And now if I'm going to show you here, just going to refresh it and go back. My access is now revoked. I'm not connected to Azure AD as well as not registered in Intune. And after some time, this entry, whatever is there, is still deleting. And then after some time, we'll see that this is not no more in this console. That's all I want to show you with respect to device enrollment via bulk enrollment method. Now let's discuss about Intune enrollment methods capabilities for Windows devices. So there are several methods to enroll Windows devices in Intune. Each method has different best practices and capabilities. Now let's discuss the best practice by enrollment method. So in this slide, we can see that we have a different enrollment methods like Azure AD joined, Azure AD join with autopilot, with self deployed mode, bulk enrollment, device enrollment manager, BYOD GPO, and co-management. And these are the scenarios or the best practice which method we need to use based on the scenario. Consider a scenario where we need to create a device so that we can use in a shared basis. Device can be used for multiple users, right? In that case, we have only 2 to 3 options. Like we can go with Azure AD join autopilot, which is a self deployed mode, or we can either use a bulk enrollment or using a device enrollment manager. Now in case of personally owned personal device must access the corporate resource. Okay, this might be another scenario where a user wants to use their personal device and they want to access the corporate resources. In that case, we just need to use a BYOD scenario where user machine is going to registered in Azure AD and then they can access the corporate resources. Now we want to provide user to perform the auto enrollment by themselves. Like then we have multiple options. We can go for Azure AD joined enrollment, in which users just need to go to access and school, work and school, and then use a connect button, and then they can click on Azure join machine to the Azure Active Directory and they're good to go from there. Or they can use a autopilot either in user driven mode or in a self driven mode. We can use a BYOD scenario again, or if a machine is if a machine is domain join, we can use a group policy, or if the machine is managed via SCCM, we can use co-management, where SCCM client is going to enroll a device in Intune. Now let's discuss about what capabilities we will get against each enrollment method. So this slide is talking about what capabilities we will get based on the enrollment method. So these are our enrollment method and these are the capabilities, and based on our requirement we can select which method is best for us. For an example, we want to implement a conditional access in our infrastructure, then we can use any method to implement the conditional access, because all the methods are supporting conditional access. Let's say we want to use or we want to associate the device with the user, right? It's a kind of user affinity where device is associated with users. So except 2 to 3, in this case we cannot use autopilot in self deploying mode or bulk enrollment or DM enrollment. Now we want to require Azure AD premium, right? In that case we have only few option: autopilot, both scenario, I mean user driven mode as well as a self driven mode, and then we can use a bulk enrollment. and then group policy as well as SCCM. Okay, now we want device can access resource protected by conditional access. Okay, we want to allow the device can access the resources which is protected by the conditional access. Then accept device enrollment manager, we can use any method to achieve this goal. Okay, now we want, and then let's say we want to give a ability to configure the device setup experience, right? So in that case we just need to use a autopilot in any mode, either in user driven mode or self driven mode. Now we want to enroll a device with or without user interaction, right? Then we have multiple ways: accept Azure AD joined, autopilot in user driven mode, as well as BYOD kind of scenario. Rest all options will provide, we can achieve our goal with all other options. Okay, now we want the ability to run a PowerShell script. So in that case, apart from BYOD kind of scenario, from all other options we can deploy or run a PowerShell script. Now we want to support automatically enrollment after AD join device, right? AD device domain join. So I'll consider a scenario where we have an environment and we want to enroll all the devices in Azure AD and Azure AD as well as enroll in Intune, right? In that case we need to use either GPO method, or if we have a SCCM infrastructure in place, then we can use SCCM also. Now consider a scenario where we have a hybrid environment and we want to again enroll the device in Intune. Then again we have a both, we can use either GPO method or we can use SCCM. And last, if you want to support automatic enrollment after Azure AD join. Okay, so if the machine is Azure AD join and we want to enroll in Intune, then accept GPO and co-manage, because in that case machine is already on-prem joined. So it's in that case, if machine is joining to the Azure enrolling in the Intune, that it's a kind of hybrid Azure AD join and then enroll in Intune. I hope this is an informative video for you. Thank you very much for watching this video.